are going to tell you a story. We love our stories.
Yeah, we do.
This one is about a location here in Lee County. Really just right outside the door. Back in the days of World War II, the U.S. Army was looking for spots for air bases where they could train our soldiers on how to fly different planes.
On bomber planes, on fighter planes.
So they were looking for open spaces where they could train. They had to have enough space to bring in these planes. They had to have enough space to have the practice areas.
We were still kind of pioneering back then.
So there's lots of ranches, some oil, and eventually the Army picked here. And so they were building the Hobbs Army Air Base. Now, this is before we had an Air Force. These were still Army soldiers who were aviators.
Army airfield.
And so when the Army Air Base came in here, of course, they brought all their families. But we had Jimmy Stewart, who was stationed here and learned to fly.
That was pretty cool.
So huge boom for Hobbs, because it was here in Hobbs, again, just outside the door.
Quite literally.
The junior college, the golf course are on airbase land.
The hospital is towards the beginning of the airbase. Like where we are now would just be the road turning off. Like you'd probably have marching field out here, you know, because they would do stuff.
So there's nothing left of the airbase now, which is sad, except for some foundations. If you go out, you can see lots of foundations. You can see the runway, you can see foundations of buildings. There's still a wall.
There's a random wall with the doors to just, like, there's doors not there, but you can see the doorway. And it's still just standing straight up right now.
So we've got some historical plaques out there, but I mean, you don't see it.
And it's not talked about a lot.
Yeah, unless you know it's there, what? There's an air base here?
Hobbs was an Army military base?
Yeah. So after the war, it stayed open for a couple years. But then, I mean, they had no need for it.
Yeah.
So it closed, and Hobbs is a boom-bust town. So that just went with it. People left, they went somewhere else, and so we were back to ranching and oil.
The planes that were commissioned and used here were B-17s. They were bombers. A lot of bombers from different bomber classes would be trained here. Like the B-29 we have in the case that's behind me. Thumper's entire flight crew, I think other than his pilot, was actually trained, his two pilots. We're trained here on B-17s on how to handle bomb management and how to drop bombs and things like that. And so B-17s were flown and used here. They're 4-engined, so they have 2 engines on each side of the fuselage. So it would be 2 engines over here and 2 engines over here on the wings, and then the fuselage and the nose in the middle. And they were mostly used for flyover missions. These planes here in Hobbs, I can't even picture seeing them flying in formation above us.
I'm here every day, people would see that,
Yeah,
you know?
and you'd hear the buzzing.
It was commonplace, you got used to it.
You'd see the formations flying, and it would be insane and cool to think of.
Here kind of a short time, but again, this is a very shotgun city. You build it up, you tear it down. So we go with the times. So stay tuned for more information about the Army Air Base.
Hi guys, I'm nerding out. Let's go.